Welcome to the Las Vegasville podcast, brought to you by Jump Studios, where we cover topics related to everything happening around Sin City, including the social media scene, food, and a whole lot more, with some of the best, most popular accounts around the city, and talk about their success in Vegas and beyond. I'm your host, Philip Zhang, aka Las Vegas Phil. Check me out on IG or TikTok, and feel free to text or leave me a voicemail at 702-551-4445. On with the show. Welcome to this week's show. Really excited to catch up with Cody Musler, aka Local Livin', who's been putting out stellar content for over 2 years now. I feel like she's kind of in her own unique lane. Her voice, which is unmistakable, the editing, the evolution of her social media skills, super awesome to see. And these days with everyone's schedule, it's tough to catch up with friends to talk like this. And yeah, we text and DM each other, comment on each other's posts. But the best part of this podcast for me is having fun and chatting with great people. So I'm just a fan of Cody, just like everyone else. Before we start, you don't have to, but it would be a lot more fun. I would honestly advise going to Cody's TikTok and binge watch her amazing videos on her trip to New England, New York, and then come back here for the conversation because we're going to talk about that later. So without further ado, over 263K on TikTok, 33K on IG. Very happy to have Cody, Local Livin', on the show.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
How you been?
I've been good. I've missed our conversations. We haven't gone out to drink
I know.
in months, I feel like. So
last time we hung out last time I saw you was Dominique Ansel.
yeah, but I don't feel like we
didn't
hang out.
So it was the drunken afternoon at Cosmo.
Yeah, see, that was the only time. And then we went to dinner, and sorry, Mom, but I don't remember dinner. So that much. So obviously we need to go out again so I can that was a crazy influencer event, though. I mean, 11 cocktails at the Cosmo, which I believe we both made videos on. But we had 11 of their new cocktails, and they were like, here's all your drinks, and also here's a car to get home. So the only thing to do was enjoy the cocktails.
It was really fun.
It was an insane afternoon.
Yeah, so for some backstory, Cosmopolitan invited a few of us to check out all of their new cocktails.
Yeah.
I think it was more than 11. It felt like 50.
Honestly, I just made up a number. I won't lie. I just remember.
And then
11.
I actually haven't posted a video because all my videos are so shitty because I was so drunk, 30 minutes in.
Okay, I didn't drink till the end, so I made sure
disappointed.
No, they love you.
But
they were great. You did stories. Your stories were awesome.
Right.
I posted a video a month and a half later which
did great, and Lindsay did too as well.
Yeah, Lindsay's did really good.
Yeah.
Hers was way more detailed than mine, but hers did really good.
So there wasn't really any heads up on expectation for what we're going to cover.
No, and I think that's why I love them, though. They're here, come and enjoy, and take what you get from it. And if you can make a cool video, make a cool video. And if you can't, then it's the good old saying, what is that? You spread the word, or what is that? By word of mouth?
Yeah, word of mouth, spread the word.
Yeah, that's what they want. They're as long as you enjoyed it and you had a good time, that's all we want.
But sometimes at events, grand opening events and things like that, we're there with writers who don't have an article planned. They're just there.
Yeah.
But they still expect us to post. Even if they're just handing out shitty hors d'oeuvres and whatever, and it's still a fun time. But how do you make a post on that? These are just stories to me.
You don't like eating the food that's been in the window for 3 hours prior to
I like going old school Yelp and just hanging out by where the servers come out and you just hoard the trays.
Okay, I feel that. I feel that. That's what we basically did at the Lotus of Siam one. We were just by the exit and we're we're gonna take all the good ones. I feel like Paul and Minnie and Jules and everyone, we were all standing in that area, Talls. We were just all taking the hors d'oeuvres as they came out and they were hot because we're once it does one lap, it's freezing and we're not.
Right.
Yeah.
And is that worthy of a TikTok post?
No, I'd love to go back. Well, I love them in general, but
yeah. I heard mixed things about the opening event.
It was a cool event. It's just really hard to make content off grand opening events. I don't want to speak for everyone. Just for me personally, my videos are very structured on how I film, and so for me, it's extremely hard. It was hard to do the Cosmo one. I was able to figure it out, but it was hard to navigate how I would do that to fit my brand and how I do my content. So yeah, grand openings are hard.
Yeah, I thought about the drink thing, and I was well, here's my fourth drink. Now I'm more drunk, and here I am, super red, and I don't know.
You looked great. I don't know what you're talking about.
So do you, I mentioned that I feel like you're kind of in your own unique lane. Does it feel that way to you too?
In a way. I mean, I feel like I blend in well with everyone. I mean, I still do Vegas content, but the whole idea for me, in order to grow, was I had to be different. I couldn't be posting what everyone else was posting because everyone was already known who was big. Like I was not competing, that's a horrible word, but like you were being pushed and like everyone else was being pushed. Lindsay, Drew, Paul, like all these larger influencers. And I'm like, how can I like match their level? Like I want to be up there too. I want to be someone that's recognized and appreciated and seen as valued. And I had to do something different. So I think the way I did my voiceovers and how I filmed was different.
Totally.
And now I'm seeing, yes, me going more different, but that's on purpose. So at first I didn't really see it, but I knew I had to do something. And I tried to jump back in your guys' lane and I was like, I can't do it as well. So I guess, yeah, you're right. I guess I kind of steered away on my own, but tried to stay with everyone else because I don't want to be too different where I can't go to events or hang out with you guys. And like my point was to still be able to stick around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've done a great job. And I love, if nobody knows, you have an alternative channel, at least one or two.
Just one.
Just one.
My name pulls up with two, but I like saved the name because I was so scared that someone would like, I don't know. People make fake accounts all the time. So I was like, I'm going to save two profiles with my name just as an in case.
And that's a great way just as a creative outlet.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that was the whole point. I do like couple stuff. I do like if I see a trend that I like or anything like that, I want to be able to be creative. And not that I get bored with like my food and travel content, but sometimes like I want to express my creativity in a different way. And so, yeah, it's a way to do it without feeling like I'm being too judged or like it's too overwhelming. I'm just like, let's do it for fun. And like if I'm bored and I have extra time at night, like I'll make something and throw it up. Or if I think clips are cool that I can include on Local Livin', like I did with my New England trip, I carried it over to Cody Musler because I'm like, I really like these clips. I really like this audio. I'm just going to see what happens. And yeah, it's fun for me. It's a way to like the reason I even post on Instagram, like pictures on just Cody Musler, the reason I wanted to do that, it's like we are living, how do I say this? Your grandparents used to make scrapbooks. I think I did a video on this also on Cody Musler, but like your grandparents used to make scrapbooks to put memories in. And like we don't do that. Everything's digital and on our phones. And the only way we can make a scrapbook is by posting it. Or like saving it in our album, of course. But like this is like my public scrapbook. Like things that I want to remember and things that I want to post. So it's like, no, I don't care if anyone else likes it, but like I'm doing it for me. And I think that's like why I do it on like my two personal pages.
That's super inspiring for me because watching Tal's second channel.
Yeah, she does great.
Those are great ways to just have a creative outlet that is more personal to you and means more to you. And who gives a shit what anyone thinks? There's no pressure to post.
I could get like 2 likes and I'm like, who are these 2 people? Like, thanks for watching. Like, it's really, it's just for me. I could be the only person viewing it and I could care less. I'm just proud of something I did that was different. Yeah, for sure. You should definitely do it.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
I'm going to Las Vegas Phillip.
Yes, cute.
So, also with social media management. That's kind of where I like to experiment with different things as well. Just taking chances on that, and then that has helped me just become a better creative person as far as social media. You've been doing quite a bit of social media management. How has that been going?
Yeah, I have a few clients. I wouldn't say that I want to have a lot. I love focusing on who I have and becoming very personal with them and like growing a relationship with the business. So I only have a few, but I'm very selective with who I work with. I want to make sure that we vibe, that we can work together for a long time, and that we have the common interests and goals. And I want to be extremely transparent with what they're getting. So, but it's been like amazing. Like the clients I have are great. We work together really well. And yeah, I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, this is a fun sound, and I can't use it on my profile, so I'll use it on theirs because I think or know it'll work, either one. And I'm like, yeah, let's post it, and this is so fun, and I'll like edit it specific to that sound where I can't do that on mine. So I definitely think running accounts does help with creativity too, especially when you're passionate about what you're running and you like what you're running. Like it's an awesome way to do it.
How many more do you think you would even want to take on? or would it just be specific to?
It would definitely
owner?
be specific. I'm down to continue taking on clients who want to work with me. Like, I want people who appreciate what I do, and I want to appreciate what they do, and come together and I want us each to value each other's businesses. And as long as we're both doing that, I'm down to continue taking clients. I know like a lot of you guys have a lot. I don't know if I want to do that many. Some of I know you have, but maybe max 10. Maybe
Yeah.
like that's pushing it.
How many do you have now?
I only have 3, and then
Okay.
I do the influencing management. So I have 4 clients, but 3 managing accounts.
Can we talk about influencing management a little
Yeah, we can talk about them. I have no
bit?
problem.
Because it's a really different approach, and I think it's really cool how you've set it up with them.
Yeah. So basically, just a little background. I work with a company. I don't want to disclose who it is, but I work with a company, and I basically bring influencers in to try the meals and review the meals. And of course, if they don't like it, we can have that conversation after or whatever they have.
that happened
as a
yet?
problem. No.
Okay.
Thank goodness. I think the company I work with has
good stuff.
amazing restaurants. But like, yeah, I definitely think it's a different way to interact with influencers and keep that connection. And I love going because like I just came from one, and I was with Las Vegas Starfish or Vegas Starfish, and we were sitting there and I've been shooting with her since 9 a.m. And since 9 a.m. we've been talking about anything under the sun, like from our personal lives to influencer management to social media management to brand deals to agencies to travel, like, and it was awesome. And I've done the same with you, and like I just sit there and get to talk to everyone. And it's also great because with influencer management, I create these restaurant reservations, and we go, and I don't have to film. I just like help anyone who needs help. So it's really personalized where you get to have me help you. And as a fellow foodie, I feel like I know what people are looking for a little more than maybe what the server might help us with. So it's like, it's really nice. I love doing it.
I would love doing that too.
You should. Everyone should. Everyone should
What's better
help
than hang out
business-
with your friends,
Yeah.
getting paid?
Exactly.
to
Everyone should
drink.
do this as another way of revenue because it helps the businesses, it keeps our connections, and that keeps our conversations going. And I've had some of the best conversations with people that I've brought in. So I love it.
Yeah, you actually inspired me to do that. My most recent clients.
Congratulations.
It's included in that, so thank you.
Yeah, I think that's so cool.
How has your approach changed in making the videos over the last couple of years?
I definitely, oh my gosh, last year, was it last year we did this?
Yeah.
Okay, last year when we talked, I remember you like introduced me, you're like, she does this like quick, speedy transitions and like she speeds them up. I don't remember exactly what you said, but basically that was my approach. Is like I sped the speed up to where I liked the part and then I would like have it slow and then I'd speed it up again. And yeah, I don't do that. I took that out.
Okay. Well, I think speeding up in general was very 2020.
Yeah, I
Free.
think maybe it was like a thing.
And it's weird to watch the fast cooking now.
Yeah, now I watch it and I'm
So
like,
weird.
I don't know if I love it, but everyone has their own like way of filming and like editing and like each to their own. It's just not my style anymore, which is fine.
And then are you doing a script?
I do.
Every
I
time
do
now?
scripts every single time. It's very, very rare I wing it. And if I'm just randomly doing it, it's because I'm in the car and we're parked and I'm like, I need to do this voiceover really quick and then I'll like wing it. But yeah, I'll write a script every single time as detailed as I can. I'll do a run through. So I'll push play, I'll read the script. And then if it is too long or too short, I'll shorten it depending on where it is. I'll try to make sure all the food matches up. And then I do the voice recording and I can do it quicker that way.
Yeah, I've been
it's
writing
like-
it out too.
Yeah, it's way quicker than just like, oh, what should I say now? I don't know. It's really hard for me. Where I know other influencers who just like crank it out and they're great, and I'm like, I can't. My brain doesn't work that fast.
Damien was saying he still just cranks it out just off the top of
That's
his
what I'm
head.
saying. How does he do that?
I don't know.
Congratulations.
He's a
Damien.
wonder.
I need to know your trick. I cannot.
But yeah, I type it out. Usually like 120 words is usually the
You know, like the word count?
word count. That's how
Okay, so
figure
I'm
out.
so bad at this. I just look if the text fits on the screen. I'm like, that looks about 40 seconds. Like, I have no idea.
What are you doing on a notepad?
No.
Oh.
No, I do it in the video app. So I'm reading as the video is playing. So you know how like,
Yeah.
okay, so you know how you're editing, you can add text. Okay, so I put everything I want to say in a text box. I put it on the screen and then I push play.
I used to do that.
Oh, it doesn't. Did you not like it? Should I do it?
I don't know.
Should I try
no.
it the other
What,
way?
Hey, whatever works for you. It's
Now
fucking working for you.
I'm gonna go home and try it the other way. I'm gonna make a video tonight and write it all on a notepad and see what way works better. Watch, that's gonna work better.
I write it on Word, but I was, back when you would record the whole thing on TikTok.
Oh, I never
On the
did
app,
that.
I would put up the whole text. Right there.
I've never edited in TikTok. Never done a voiceover in TikTok. So like,
It's getting better, but
Okay.
yeah, I don't do it anymore.
yeah, I feel like I don't know. I can't do it as well, and it's because I'm unfamiliar with it. So I'd have to practice a lot. But
Right.
maybe that's what I'll do on Cody Musler's personal page now. I'll just like practice
it a
editing
try.
on TikTok. No.
But then you got to remove the watermark
Yeah.
for YouTube Shorts and reels.
Yeah, that's true. Well, there's like websites you can go on and like remove the watermark.
Yeah.
So I mean, like that's kind of helpful, but it's still a pain in the butt 'cause you have to export the video, export it from there again, and sometimes the quality. And I'm like, this is horrible. So you're right.
Is everything still done on your phone?
Yeah, everything's done on my phone. Hopefully one day I'll get into YouTube long forms and they'll be on a computer again. But for right now, yeah, everything's on my phone.
And then what's your posting schedule like? Do you just go whenever you feel inspired?
Yeah, I'm really bad. I don't even think I posted in like 2 weeks. Did you look?
But,
it was
yeah,
really
like
bad. You're
five or
like,
six-
wow, we're
five
having
or
to
six
scroll
this
and
month?
she hasn't even posted anything.
But does it even matter then? Like, you're still killing it.
no,
Like, I don't know.
I think I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my page. And like, I just went on all these travel things. And then it was kind of hard for me to come back and like post just a bunch of Vegas stuff. So like, I just posted Staples yesterday. And it was another travel thing. And I was curious if it would do good. And it did do good. So I'm really happy.
It's a great tip.
But I was just trying. I think right now I'm at a standstill about like where I want to go and what I want to post. And I haven't, because of that New England trip, I didn't do a lot of collaboration, so I wasn't really going to anything. So I don't have like a bunch of backup footage right now. So I think it's a really good time for me to like just take a step back and like look at everything and be like, okay, where do I want to go with this? How do I want to go? And like, how do I want to start editing and filming? And because like the itinerary based in New England did really well. Like that lifestyle type of voiceover did really well. So I'm thinking, do I want to go back into that and like maybe start doing more lifestyle content? So I'm trying to figure that out right now. Even though I'm about to do a bunch of holiday content in Las Vegas, so I know.
Oh, nice.
That'd be exciting. I love holidays.
So let's kind of get into that. And
Okay.
before, I want to just mention again, go to Cody's TikTok to check out the New England trip because it was amazing. 11 days, you did 11 posts. Yeah. It's your first real extended trip featuring a ton of stuff. You guys packed in the days and you wove a great story together. I grew up in Massachusetts, been all over New England and lived at NYC, so I really loved it. What was your favorite state that you'd go back to first, if you could right now?
Okay, right now, because of like the weather,
Yeah.
I'd probably go to Rhode Island or Massachusetts, so Boston area. I'd probably go to those two, just because the other areas I think are better like spring, fall, like Vermont and everywhere, because of the leaves and everything. And I don't want to go to New York during the winter.
Yeah,
Maybe one time to see the tree, and then I would be done. But yeah, probably Rhode Island and Massachusetts and explore them more. I think it'd be a really nice time. And Rhode Island was beautiful. It was so pretty.
Yeah, all the mansions and all that you checked out, and the drone shots
Oh,
were phenomenal.
I'm so glad I convinced myself to get the drone. Like I was on the border of not getting it, and I was like, who cares? Like let's just do it. When I was flying it, like it was just spectacular to look around you, specifically in Vermont too, because that was like the point of the whole trip. And look around, and you're like seeing all these beautiful trees, but then to look at the drone footage and see it from above, it was just like a whole nother like type of, I don't know. It was beautiful.
Yeah, the foliage shots were incredible.
Oh my gosh, they were my favorite.
And that's when I know I got old because I like foliage now. But
Me, I'm like, everyone's like, you're going for trees. And I'm like, don't even think about judging me until you see it.
it was phenomenal.
But
yeah.
now I hope that everyone sees it and they're like, trees, like, go see the trees. Like, it's the small things in life. Like, you don't have to always go to a big city. Like, I had so much fun in Vermont with Charlie, and it was so nice to just like relax. And like the hotel we stayed at was so nice. They had like all these common areas that were also like very private, and like we just got to sit and talk, and like it was amazing.
So you mentioned also that it took 30 minutes to get an Uber in Vermont. Is that just a Vermont thing, the rideshare thing being a pain in the ass? Because I imagine there probably aren't that many Uber drivers in Vermont.
There wasn't. So we had to take an Uber from, it was in Burlington. So the car rental company online at least said that they closed at midnight, I think, or 11, and we didn't get in until like 12:30. So we were missing that like mark.
Yeah.
And we were like, holy crap, this is a small town, and like, how are we gonna get to our Airbnb? And so I literally mapped it and made sure we packed thick jackets in case we had to walk. And I know that's so dramatic, but I was like, Charlie, if there's no Ubers, like we're either asking someone who's outside doing a pickup and we're getting in the car with a stranger, which I'm probably choosing over walking, or we're walking if no one's out there. So like we had thick jackets. We were ready. It was a 40-minute walk.
Oh
we were
my
like, this is
God.
gonna be a really interesting story to tell.
Yeah.
And luckily there were very few Ubers, but they Ubered us to our thing, but it was very expensive. The Ubers in New York were ridiculous too. Like a 20-minute ride was like $80.
Did you take the subway at all? It didn't look like you did.
We took a train in from New Haven to Grand Central Station, which that was like a freaking movie. Like
Yeah, so cool.
exactly I've never been to New York, so to literally get off a train and walk into Grand Central Station, me and Charlie were like, wow. Like this is literally it's like a Lifetime movie. It's like this couple just got off a train with all their luggage and they're looking up. Like it was beautiful. Like you couldn't even I couldn't have imagined a more perfect way to go into New York.
I love seeing specifically first-timers going to New York City.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like a choose-your-own adventure. There's so much to do, so many places to go, and everyone has kind of their own unique thing.
Yeah, and then it was great. And then we walked out and it was like so busy. It was really one of those moments that you walk out and it's slow to you, but then everything's moving so quick, and we just got overwhelmed.
Yeah, I did a lot of walking, like anyone in New York does.
Yeah, I felt like I lost like all the calories I ate in pizza. I just walked it off, which was great. But I was also like, well, I'm down to sit for a second.
Right.
There's no sitting there.
No, not at all.
Like, yeah, we could barely sit at a restaurant. Like, they're like, are you done? Cool, we have another table. Like, get out of your seat.
Yeah, you did 2 Italian dinners the last night.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I mean, I think we ate every, 2 hours. I'm sorry, Charlie.
And then I saw another thing. There was a 2-hour wait to touch the bull's nuts
Okay.
on Wall Street. What the fuck?
I might have been a little dramatic, but basically...
I saw the line.
We pulled
crazy.
up, and I was like, how long have you been waiting? And they're like 30 minutes. And they were, probably not even halfway through. So, I was like, oh, no, this is, a max 2-hour wait. And that's depending on if everyone wants to take pictures or if it's just a group thing. I was like, I'm not standing in this line.
Right. What if a YouTuber's there wants to talk
Yeah.
nuts for 5 minutes?
Yeah. And I was like, this is not, I mean, it was one of my goals in New York. I almost cut people just to go touch it and then have Charlie film me, cutting all these people. And I was like, that's really rude. I'm not going to do that. So next time, though, I'm going to go at 6 a.m. And hopefully.
It's not worth it.
Well, now it is. I need to know what everyone was waiting for.
Okay.
Why was everyone else waiting 2 hours? Obviously, these nuts are magical. We need to touch them. There's even a person who was hugging them and kissing them. Come on.
What the fuck?
Because apparently it's good fortune, right?
I guess.
That's
bring
the
some
whole
Windex
idea.
then and wipe it down first.
Me over there lysoling and just really wiping it.
All right. Way too much on bull's balls. Anyways, the most interesting thing about the trip, which was fucking crazy, was the haunted hotel.
Oh, in Rhode
Walked into
Island.
Rhode Island.
Oh
and
my
you
gosh.
immediately checked out, which was fucking crazy.
That was, I've never experienced anything like that. And before I tell this story, just to let you know, I believe in ghosts, but I've never believed in anything affecting me. I've never really thought too much into it or really cared. I know there's a lot of people who believe in it. But I'm like, okay, cool. It's there and I don't know, never run into it. But we were checking into the hotel and it's beautiful. It's it's kind of on the beach. So I requested an ocean view room. I was really excited. And we basically are checking in and everything's cool. Love the front desk guy. I wanted him to be my best friend. We talked about his whole plans, knew everything he was doing for the whole week. And ended up going upstairs. He gave us a 2-bedroom room, which that was the first weird thing because I had asked for a king room and they were like, the only thing left in the room or the whole hotel is this one room, but we're giving you 2 rooms. And I was like, what? So we walked into both rooms and they both had like double beds. We're like, okay, this is strange. He was like, that's what's under your name. Like, that's what we're giving you. I was like, whatever. So we walk in and like, I'm filming the room because obviously I'm posting about like where I'm staying throughout my trip. And Charlie's like, hey, come in this room. There's blood on the window. And I was like, what? And he was like, there's blood on the window. And there was like splattered blood on the window and going onto the wall. And he's like, I don't know, it's weird. And we're ignoring it. And we're like, he's like, maybe a bird flew into it. Like, I'm like, Charlie, it's on the inside. Like, I don't think the bird flew into it. And he's like, no, it's on the outside. I'm like, whatever you want to say. But we still disagree. But so I feel like it was on the inside.
Do you have a photo of it?
I might have a video of it, so we can actually look because I think it's on the inside. So now I'm going to relook. I don't want to look at any of that stuff, but we will just for fun. And if it is, maybe we'll put a clip in the video, maybe. But just so I can prove a point. But and then I went into the other room, and there's a random chair sitting in front of a mirror. And it just like everything was really weird. I don't know. I was feeling really off. And I looked at Charlie when we were in the room, and I was like, I was like, don't take this like too far, but like, I'm feeling like this is haunted. And he was like, no. And I was like, no, I'm getting like really bad vibes. And he was like, no, it's not. And that's when he was like, okay, like I apparently turned like kind of pale. And he was like, we talked about it later. We were talking to my dad about everything. I was telling my dad how stupid I felt for leaving. And Charlie goes to my dad, well, she actually like turned pale. Like she looked scared. And he's like, I've never seen her look so scared over something like what the hell is going on? So anyways, we leave and we go out to the car to get our stuff because we always go and check the room before we take all of our stuff in. So we're going out to get our stuff and I'm like out there and I just like start like crying and freaking out. And I'm like, I really like don't want to walk even back in there. I don't know this feeling. I was like, I feel like it's haunted. That's so stupid. And he was like, okay, well, maybe I'll look it up. And I was like, if you look it up and it says it's haunted, I don't think I can stay. And he's like, oh, me neither. So I start unloading our luggage and he's Googling and he's like, you might want to stop. And like, he told me like all these stories. Apparently it's like, I don't know, one of the top, it's like very known haunted hotel. And there's like a little girl who runs through the hallways and like laughs. And then there's a guy that apparently goes in the hotel room closets and like rattles the door because he feels trapped. There's another guy who like sits in the bar area and like sobs and he's in like a top hat. So I go back into the front desk and I'm emotional and I look at the guy who I feel like we're friends now. And
are you really friends? He chose the room.
I feel like we're not, but he like, I still think he's cool. I wish I would have gotten his IG. So if you ever hear this, please like DM me.
I don't know.
But I go up to him and I'm like explaining. He was like, yeah, I've actually stayed here because I've wanted to have an encounter. I was like, oh my God. And he's like, yeah, several people have come to the desk and said like all the things you're telling us. I was like, what? So I'm like, I need your manager's number. I need to call her and ask for a refund. And I don't like doing that. Like, obviously there's a cancellation policy for a reason. And so I call her and I'm crying on the phone with her. And she's like, don't worry, sweetie. Like there's so many people who've had this issue. Like it is haunted. We've heard the stories. Well, she didn't confirm it's haunted, but you know what I'm saying. Like she's like, people have told us they've had experiences. We don't think you're stupid. We will offer you a free refund. And because I'm telling her, I'm like, I know I sound dumb. Like, this is not what I want to be calling you about. I love the view from our room. I think it's beautiful, but all these things and how I'm feeling, I just can't. And so, anyways, we left. There's another strip of areas that are like newer. So we went to the newer area because Charlie read that like a bunch of hotels are haunted in Rhode Island. So I was like, I want to go to like one of the newest ones. And so we walked in and when we were checking in, I go, is this place haunted? And he was like, no, why? And I was like, long story short, the last place was. So just want to make sure we're good here. He's like, it's only been here 2 years. Like, I'm pretty sure the hotel's not haunted. And I was like, cool. Anyways, great room, great night's sleep.
No blood on the window.
No blood on the window. I was
crazy.
I was so excited to be out of that hotel. But if you're into it, go stay there. Apparently tell me if the hotel rooms rattle or the doors rattle in the closet. Because, I couldn't have slept that night.
No way, you couldn't have stayed there. That's crazy.
And I know that sounds dramatic. I know.
No, but you were compelled enough to, yeah.
And I was like, I'm not doing it. I can't do it. I can't stay here. I'm leaving.
So with the content, you go out all day, you've jammed in the days, and then as soon as you get back to the room and you're done, you start putting together the whole thing for a post the very next day, right?
Yeah. So, and I felt so bad for Charlie because there would be a part where like we'd be done with the night and he's like, all right, like let's just hang out. And I'd be like, no, I have to edit. Like, I'm sorry, but like I've already started and now I can't stop. Because I feel like if I would have just been like, yeah, I want to relax like I wanted to, I wouldn't have ended up doing it. I would have had like 3 videos and I would have taken them down and just called it a day. And so yeah, I filmed like the entire, how I did it though is I filmed and then I would edit the next night. So I'd basically have 2 days of content, but I'd edit the first day or whatever. I'd edit the day I'm posting about, the next day, a day and a half after or something. So it was always like a couple days behind, which sucks. I would not recommend doing that. Like if you're gonna do it, you just should post it that night because people were getting me recommendations for where I already had been.
Oh.
And I was so sad. I was like for example, we went to New Haven to try pizza and I like tried the pizza that other people recommended along our trip that we had talked to. But then my comments were like, why would you do that? And I was like, you're right. Why weren't you here 2 days ago? Like, why did I do this to myself? So I wish I would have done it that way, but it would have been that would have been a lot too.
Yeah, it's crazy for the audience to assume.
There's people
You just
still
make this fucking
commenting,
great
and they're
video.
like, "You should really just go here." And I'm like, "Yeah, this was a month ago,
Yeah.
almost 2 now." Like,
But to put it all together like that, they take it for granted.
Yeah.
They think, oh yeah, this is just what I threw up here.
well, and I got invited to places too. Like, I got like businesses reach out, and they're like, "Hey, if you're in the area still," like a hotel reached out and was like, "Hey, if you need somewhere to stay, come stay with us." And I'm like, "Okay, what? I left that area. Like, I can't even come check you out." And same with we were gonna go to like a sushi restaurant. And they reached out, and I was like, I just drove through your city. Like, I can't. So it sucked. But
Yeah.
It was, I mean, I loved it. I obviously loved the content. I did it. I was committed. And I told Charlie it was awesome to edit it because I got to relive everything we did. And, like, that was really cool because we jam-packed our days so much. And then, like, it's so easy to forget things that you did or not appreciate them when you're in the moment or and like overlook it. And so I got to relive every moment of each day. And I
You
told him that
summarized
was
it so well.
Cool.
Yeah, you summarized it
Thank
so
you.
well. The entire day, you made it a really good kind of pace
Thank you.
that made people watch it. And what I loved, one thing was you opted to use the same music after day 2
Yeah.
to Tolan Kim's Chill Vibes to kind of keep people in that zone so they can just go to the next one
Yep.
because it feels like one long continuous trip.
Thank you for appreciating that. That
Yeah.
was my thought process after the second video. I was like, I like this. I like how it sounds. I like how it'll flow through everything. Oh, it's the small details. I love when people appreciate that. Thank
Totally,
you.
I do.
Because, like, not many people, like, I mean, that's a small thing that, like, creators do, right? Like, I guess it takes another creator to appreciate that type of stuff. But, like, not many people would recognize that. And so that's cool. Thank you.
Travel is interesting for influencers, though.
Yeah.
Like when I was in Napa, I was getting hit up afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, hey, come to this winery, whatever. How much was set up? Were you able to set up prior?
So I didn't reach out to a lot of restaurants. And I know that's weird, but I wanted to be able to
Keep it loose.
if I like scheduled like 3 different restaurants, then I have to go to those restaurants. And so if we are walking, I can't stop in somewhere because I'm like, oh, we're on a time schedule. And we've done that in California. And it's just like California's easier. We can go back all the time. But I didn't want it to be like that on this trip. We were spending a lot of money. We were spending a lot of our time. And I was like, I want to be able to actually enjoy it. So I reached out to hotels, and that was rough, like almost the only thing I did. But hotels are hard. Like if you've never stayed at a hotel and you're reaching out to a hotel, they're like, show us previous content. And I'm like, how about you just trust me? I'll make it good, I promise. And then they're like, no. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So one hotel came through. It was a Hilton property. It was the Canopy in Portland, Maine.
All the lifestylers are now DMing that hotel.
Yeah. I hope they get more. Like, they're a beautiful hotel. I believe they just, like, opened. Cool rooftop bar, cool downstairs area. But they were the only ones. She was like, we'd love to have you. And I was like, I think I cried. Because I was like, that was one of my dreams is to, like, be able to transition this into travel. And, like, to be able to work with a property. And I believe they are a Hilton property. It was like, that's amazing. Like,
Yeah, that's
I
big.
was so excited and so, like, even though it was just one, I told Charlie that was, like, my goal was to get one hotel to work with us because I would love to transition into that content. And it was great. And they treated us so well. Like, they were so nice. So,
And then how many DMs did you send out, or were the emails?
Oh my gosh.
Tons, right?
Tons of DMs.
It's really interesting how
just
that works.
in New York, I think I sent like 40. And I got obviously every single one was a no. Sadly, it was so sad, but which is understandable, right? Like they have tons of influencers reaching out to them and they're giving something of value. And if they don't see value in you, like I completely understand. Each business has a need for proper representation. And if I'm not what works for them, I don't want them to be disappointed because they're already being so skeptical. So like I was okay with it, but yeah, I sent so many emails. Like for I think 2 months, I would send like just daily. Like I was just like any hotel we could find, and then when it came down to it, Charlie and I were just like looking up anything that we see that we could make good content out of, but it was so hard, obviously. Like,
yeah, and it's also interesting because as from the social media manager side,
Yeah.
you get those DMs from out of towners.
Yeah.
And there's no uniform way to do it. It's always different.
No, there's no across the board. I was actually just talking to someone the other day about how like we're the pioneers, like, I mean across the nation, like not us as a group here, but like we're the pioneers for influencing. Like this is such a new market, even though it's been going on for many years through Instagram and there was those lifestyle influencers, but it's becoming bigger and like there's no structure to this. Like no one even knows how to like navigate it, price anything. Like we're all just like throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks and that's what you got to do.
So I mean, you have actually gotten quite a few great paid posts.
Thank you.
And a lot of stuff that a lot of people aren't getting. So what do you think are some important things, some must-haves for influencers today? I get recently the last 8 months, more people asking for a media kit
Yeah.
than ever before.
So I definitely have a media kit.
Is it a one sheet?
So I've been like, before I was even doing like influencing and content creation for Local Livin', I did like have collaborations for Cody Musler for like photos. So like I loved taking photos. So brands would reach out to me to do a collaboration. Like I've done a shoe company before. Anyways, I've done clothing companies and all that through my personal page. So I already knew that people were asking for media kits. So going into Local Livin', when I was reaching out, I already had one made. But yeah, it used to be I just used to do a one-pager. And then I was like, well, everyone's sending one-pagers. Like, how do I stand out? How am I different? So then I transitioned to a different type of layout where I made it like look like a book almost, like flipping pages. And then now I do it like that where it's like a presentation deck almost. So it's like a PowerPoint that they see in their email. I don't know how to explain it.
I think that's
like,
cool.
Unless you see it, like it makes no sense. But yeah, it's like a presentation PowerPoint deck. I put it in the email so it like is visible right when they open the email, and then I put it as a PDF so they can flip through it, and then everything's in there. Like I have like a description of me, all my insights, my rates, who I've worked with. I definitely think all those points are important, especially who you've worked with, and switch them out if you need to. If you've worked with a crap ton of companies, like definitely switch them out to be specific to the brand you're reaching out to if you can.
And the price as well.
Yeah, and the price as well. Oh yeah. Definitely change your prices, but don't like underestimate your worth. So
I was always worried about even putting a price on a media kit because that can float around.
I only do it if they ask me for a media kit with rates. So if they're specifically asking for rates, I will send them rates. If you're ever like, I don't even know how this works. I'm not a lawyer by any means, but like I always put like a confidentiality like clause at the bottom that basically says like, this is for your eyes and your eyes only. Please, like you cannot share this legally. Like I have like a little clause that I send with it, but like I don't send that all the time. I just send it if I'm like ever, I don't know, weird. So I'm kind of covered. Once again, not a lawyer. If you're a lawyer, reach out.
But you went to law school?
No, I didn't go to law school. I wish I would have went to law school.
No, yeah, that's right.
I tested for the LSATs, and it was not for me. You know, blessings come in weird ways. I was not meant for that. I wanted to go to med school too. Obviously wasn't meant for that. I just was out with a friend. Her husband is going to med school, and she's like, I just don't think that would have fit you. And I was like, I agree. Like, I wish someone would have told me that in junior year of college when I was still like wishy-washy and failing out of bio. I think that was the first
Part
time
of the
that
journey.
you fail bio, maybe you shouldn't like it anymore.
Bio was tough. That was my worst subject in high school.
It was easy. I just never wanted, not easy. It was hard. I just never wanted to study to make it easier for myself. I was the last minute studier.
So paid posts,
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper, Cheesecake Factory,
Yep.
Area 15,
Yep.
Momofuku Cosmopolitan, RTC,
Wow.
Virtual Reality, Staples.
No, Staples wasn't. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
if anyone's
really?
assuming that, yeah. So
Oh, I did.
Oh my gosh. So many people are, and which is fantastic. But everyone's like, how'd you work with Staples? And I'm like, oh, my bad. I did not work with Staples, but Staples, if you hear this, hit me up. But
Yeah.
like, no, I did not. I would love to. That'd be awesome. See,
Probably
those
the
are the
biggest
type of
post-
people I want to brand with. Like, we can all make content out of this stuff, but we just have to do it in our own way. Staples might be an office supply place, but obviously I made it work for my page.
They're definitely gonna repost it. It's probably the best post Staples has ever had on social
hope
media.
so. That's
Because what
so
the fuck
cool.
else are they gonna talk about?
Oh, I
Sharpies?
wish they were. But yeah, so anyways, I've been very lucky to work with a lot of companies. I think you were asking me how. I don't remember the
Well, how or, I mean, is it them approaching you? Is it through LinkedIn? Is it them just saying, "Hey, we love your stuff"?
Yeah, it's basically just like they reach out, they say they love it. I have a lot of people who straight up ask like, "What are your rates?" And I don't know if it's because now I do have a lot of like hashtag ad paid sponsorship. Like I do have those on my page, so maybe when they're going through it, they're like, "Okay, I'm just gonna ask her rates," because I don't really get a lot of bigger brands that just like reach out and say, "Can you post for us?" Like it always says, "Can you send your media kit rates now?" So yeah, when they reach out, they usually just ask, and then I send them all the information. I mean, now I have a structured email that like if someone asks, I like personalize it, but mostly everything is the same because I've been doing it quite a bit lately, and so it's easier for me to have something that's structured that I can add the personal details I need, but have it where it all makes sense. But yeah, so they reach out.
What are some other things that might be important for an influencer to market themselves? Promote themselves.
I definitely think that posting when influencers post, sometimes we post about what we like and like how our opinion is about something. And I think a business wants you to push and promote them. So like think of it as like a commercial. We are making it about the brand, like about the company, and in turn, it will automatically be about you as well. Like my voice is in it, my face is in it. I'm giving my personal perspective. I'm describing things how I want to describe it. There is that personal touch, but in a whole, it is about the business and the brand. And I think that's important. If I'm running my thing as a business to help businesses, and where I want to be personal, I want to add things that are important to me, but also I want them to be interested in having me in again and maybe having that paid relationship, that paid sponsorship. Because ultimately, like, I need to put food on the table as much as they do. And so I want to support them and I want them to support me and have that mutual respect. So I definitely think that running yourself as a business and having it look like you're supporting the business at all times is extremely important, because I think that's what helped me have a lot of people reach out to me. I post like I want to represent them. And I think that's a great way to get started. Another way is like post like you want your dream brands to reach out to you. So like Cheesecake was huge for me. Like Dr. Pepper was huge.
Yeah.
Like that is so cool to be able to be recognized by those companies. And in the food realm, like they're one of the top chains in America, I would say. And so to have them like reach out was a whole thing. And they weren't my dream brand because I didn't think it was achievable, which is another note. Don't ever think anything's out of reach. Like you are a star, and like go for the moon and like manifest it and love it and have these dreams. But like obviously like cool yourself and don't be arrogant about it. But like have these dreams, have these goals. Like if you want a big company, like dream about it. But when I'm posting, I post with the intention that I want bigger companies to see me, and I want them to like how I post and how I speak about companies, because I want them to want me to speak about theirs like that. And so I definitely think like that. Like posting
Presented great.
Yeah, like when I went on the travel trip too, I want hotels and companies to reach out to me to maybe go on a trip. So I was like, how can I film and edit this that's appealing to like a travel board? Like, how can I get a travel board to notice me of any city and be like, we want this girl to come in and do a 3-day itinerary and the best things in our city? And that was like the best way I knew how to. Now, no one's hit me up yet, but I'm still dreaming.
The fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Dream big. But yeah.
But yeah, I got my first paid travel gig recently too, and I think
I know.
it's because
Congratulations.
yeah, it was the Japan trip. I think they
Okay.
saw the Japan videos.
I'm not going to count myself out.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
but it's great to do travel.
Congratulations.
So thank you.
Yeah, that's a big achievement.
But it's great to do travel stuff because, I mean, for me, I was so bummed coming back from Japan, and then I got to shoot some guy cooking in a wok again on a plate. It just seems so fucking
like-
basic and boring.
But I
Sorry.
think also you've been doing it for so long the basic and boring comment is like, it does get boring when you do everything every day. Like even people who have desk jobs are like, to be stuck in this cubicle every day is like a pain in the butt. Like I want to get out. And that's why co-working spaces are now a thing with a lot of companies. Like we're working remotely because people don't want to be trapped. They get bored and they lose their interest, and that's how we perform worse. So I think that's why like the personal channel is a great outlet, but like thinking bigger than what you're just doing and just doing food and like being like, I want to do travel. Like, I think it's great. Like, be creative with travel and then, like, yeah, be interested in other things too, like the food. Like, I don't know if it's boring to do food, but like, I get what you're saying. It's definitely not, it's not comparable anymore.
Less inspiring.
Yeah.
Because you go out there, you shoot atypical things,
Yeah.
see new things.
So I've definitely, and I think that's why it's been hard for me to post content recently, is because I'm like, I just did all this stuff and I'm like, I'm gonna post something that maybe is not as extreme, and I don't want to like maybe disappoint anyone. But then I'm still passionate about it, so I'm trying right now to navigate that passion. It's like, how can I still do what I was doing, but still love what I want to do? Like, how can I mold them together? But yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying. It's a really hard transition, super hard.
And finally, I mean, with money, we'll try to talk about it however we can in a no IRS calling us kind of way.
Oh yeah.
But how do you figure out the rates? It's always good to have friends to bounce off ideas with,
Yeah.
but it's still the Wild Wild West.
Yeah. 100%.
And recently, I felt like I've undervalued myself. And so how do you choose, how do you decide what number to throw out?
I won't lie. Google is a really good friend of mine. We talk often.
How are they?
They're good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Nice.
They give me a lot of insight, a lot of advice. But yeah, basically I Google whatever questions I have, and I take a bunch of like bloggers are the best. If they have influencing, they're an influencer and they're blogging about it. I want to read everything they have on their blog, and I'll read like 5 of them and put all that together and see like they're the only people writing about it. Like lifestyle influencers who are bloggers are for some reason the only people writing about like rates and what to charge. And maybe because they've been doing it a long time because they were on Instagram prior to TikTok, but they're a huge help. So I read any influencer's blog that has it. But majority of them just are like, divide your following, I think it's by 10. I don't know. Would that make sense? Yeah, I think that makes sense. It's like divide your following by 10 and that's your like maximum rate. And then based off like everything else, like you always have to think like if it's a bigger company or if it's a smaller company, like of course you can't charge like a mom and pop restaurant like $4,000 if you have, what would that be, 4,000 followers or 400,000 followers? Yeah, right? Okay, so you can't charge them that much. So you have to go in line with what their business is, because once again, your business thrives if their business thrives. So it's like you can't screw them over, but you also have to know where your worth is. And so that's kind of how I gauge it. But yeah, that really helped at first, is like that simple calculation. And I have a friend who owns a marketing company, and that's kind of where she says everyone falls too. If they're a lifestyle influencer, they're basically doing that. They're dividing it by 10, and that's their max. It's where they're lining up. But I'm also in like this Facebook group where like there's like 4,000 creators in this group, and Facebook invited them to a group. So there's like Facebook moderators, and a lot of them are being really open about their pricing. And I know like there was this guy who posted, and he was saying that he is like, he has like 500,000 followers, and he charges like $8,000 a video. But his engagement is like ridiculously high. It's like 300,000 to 400,000 views on each video. So I think you have to monitor that too. Like, where's your engagement rate? You could have 400,000 followers, but are you only getting like 5,000 views? Then of course you can't charge them $4,000 because it's not a good ROI. in my opinion. I mean, each to their own. Everyone can charge whatever they think, but like, yeah. So I just gauge it off all that. Like, where am I? What am I doing? How good will the video perform? What is the company? What am I showcasing? And yeah, I think after a few brand deals, though, you kind of see like where everyone's comfortable, and then like it's way easier to gauge because then you can like send a rate that you're like, okay, I feel like based off my like what everyone else is comfortable with, I think this company would be comfortable with this because they're close to this company, like in relation to what they do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, being on the other end of that, we have reached, some of my clients have reached out to big influencers just to get an idea of a price.
Yeah.
Some of those guys still don't have rate cards. They just shoot over some obscene number.
I know. Yeah.
And they don't think about it being a lasting relationship, a possible potential
And that's
ongoing
important, though.
relationship. They just want to skin the cat and get the fuck out.
And yeah, and
It's
that's
crazy.
And I don't think that's the way to look at it too. You have to look at it like I do it as am I passionate about the company? If so, then I do want to work with them, obviously. Are they interested in a partnership? If they are, let's see if they're comfortable with these rates. And I always look for if I will want to do it again. So like when I was working with, example, Cheesecake Factory, I gave them a rate. They didn't approve my rate, so we compromised on a rate. And then they messaged me again. They're like, but with this, we want to work with you again because of how easy it was to work with you. And I think that's the thing, like, be easygoing with the people you're working with. You don't want to be known as a hard person to work with or a person who will only work for X amount of dollars. Like you want a relationship. And I think that's my first thought is like, how can I make this a relationship? Because everyone on that end also talks.
Yes.
You don't want to be the person that's like the difficult one and then everyone's no, I want to be like the easygoing, go with the flow, like not price gouging. Like I want to be that person. So I'm really trying to figure out a happy medium for everyone. I think it's important. What will make them happy and what will make me happy? Where's my worth and what are they thinking and why? And it was cool. Actually, Cheesecake Factory did a bonus structure with me too, and that was a really cool way to do it.
For shares and saves?
Yeah, like if I hit a certain amount, then I was able to make whatever much. And that was dope. Like that was a really cool way to do it. It's a compromise because then I was like, okay, you're saying my worth is this for right now, but you're understanding if I hit more, then it might be worth more to you. And I was like, that's a beautiful way to respectfully say to a person that like, it's not that we don't think you're worth it, but we'll do it if you hit these. And that's where we think it's worth it. And I'm like, cool.
That's
it all
phenomenal.
made sense.
Yeah.
And like, I would love if more companies did that.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for a couple of years.
I think Drew was the one who brought it up to us. Yeah.
We talked about it on our last podcast as well.
Yeah, and I think that he has an excellent, and that was the first instance that that's happened with me, and I didn't even mention it. And so obviously they're thinking forward. So yeah, I thought it was a great idea. Fantastic.
Awesome tips all around.
Thank you.
So before we wrap up, we're going to get into 10 questions.
Okay.
And hopefully some of these will be reels. No.
Maybe.
All right. Number 1, you have to eat at one restaurant for every single meal for an entire week. They'll even deliver it to you wherever you are. Cody, name that restaurant.
Okay, off the top of my head, I'm going Esther's or La Strega. I'm a big pasta person.
Yep.
This
is true.
Yeah, I love pasta. Yeah, like that would be my choice. Like hands down. Oh, if Esther's could deliver me their food every day, sign me up.
What are your emails and DMs like these days? Well, what are your DMs like specifically?
Not that busy. I don't know how to answer that.
Are people just asking you for recommendations? Do they want to be your best friend? I imagine a lot of people want to be your best friend.
Okay, so my DMs, yes. Okay, a lot of people ask what are like the best places to go in Vegas or any of that. I get a lot of those questions. I also get some like interesting people sending me things like. There's a very nice person sending me poems right now. If you're that person, I do appreciate the poems every day. I think they're very nice.
Is every line right?
No, they're very like detailed and deep and like
wow.
I do like them and they're very inspiring. So
damn.
I'm not saying don't send me them. I'm just saying that's something that's happening. And then yeah, I get like I just recently got a very nice threat, so that was interesting. Very sad, but I mean it happens. It's fine. But yeah, people are cruel, but I don't get too many, so I'm thankful for that. But yeah, mostly it's just asking me recommendations and then restaurants.
One great tip you gave me, and this is awesome for any influencer, is you've made a Yelp list
Yeah,
of top 3, top 5 of every kind of cuisine,
yeah,
and you just send them that link,
yep.
which is amazing.
I made a Yelp collection of everything I'm usually asked. So like, it's top tens. I do need to redo it, but it's like top 10 breakfast, top 10 lunch, top 10 dinner, top 10 bars, top 10 activities. I think I did speakeasies in case someone asked for speakeasies. Basically like any like common question. Because that is normally like, where can I go for dinner? And I'm like, here are the top 10 recommendations.
Yeah.
And I sometimes put in notes because on collections you can put like notes. And I love that because then you can be like, this price point is this. And it's really handy.
Yeah, super
Really
convenient,
handy.
great. Everyone uses Yelp anyway.
Yeah,
It's
and you
great
can make
way
a shortcut. So you can like have the reply automatically saved on Instagram. 10 out of 10 recommend. Like, yeah, it's so quick.
Yeah. In no particular order, please name your 3 favorite places for caffeine now.
Caffeine. Okay. Oh, that's a hard one. I'm gonna say Starbucks. I know it's a big chain.
What's your Starbucks order?
I like to change it up, but I like a chai latte. Right now, the one that went viral last year, it's like a chai latte with ice with sweet cream cold foam, and I put caramel drizzle on top, and it's really good. But I'm also very basic, and I loved the pumpkin spice latte and the pumpkin spice cold brew, and that's my happy place, and I literally match it. I'm the basic bitch of the century, I feel like, with that comment, but like it's fine.
That's going to be the topic of the YouTube. It's just going to say that.
Just basic bitch of the century.
Local living.
Love it. That's
Yeah.
exactly how I feel 90% of the time talking. So, like this blonde saying she likes Starbucks, typical. But okay, so top 3. So not going chain though. Let's go only local. I go to Founders Coffee a lot.
Really popular place.
Yeah, I like Mothership. And they're not like, I mean, a dirty chai I would probably get from Makers and Finders, but I really like Makers and Finders chai. I know that's not like caffeine per se, but I really like their chai. And then Bungalow Coffee. So I know I said 4, but
Oh yeah, Bungalow is a cute place.
Bungalow is like adorable. If you guys haven't been, like very, very cute. Very easy to work in. I love that they have booths, so it feels like a restaurant vibe, and I can just sit in the corner and feel like I can't hear anyone. So it's great to go work and just sit, or we'll go and talk with friends. I like their salads too. They have a really good salad.
You and Charlie are big country music fans.
Yes.
Who's your favorite female and then male singer?
Ooh, Miranda Lambert.
Okay.
And then male, I'd say we both really like Morgan Wallen.
Oh yeah, you guys went to the show. I remember that.
Yeah, thank you, Radio Heather. And then I really like Thomas Rhett. But I would say right now we both really like Morgan Wallen. I don't know who his favorite female would be. It used to be Carrie Underwood, but I don't think he'd say that anymore. So I don't know who he'd say. Now I'm going to go home and ask.
Yeah, I want to know.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Where would you want your next travel series to be in a perfect world?
Perfect world out of the country for sure. I would love to go like anywhere in Europe and eat and like all the pasta and bread I can possibly fit in my body.
So Italy.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
Italy.
that'd be great.
But yeah, that would be like my perfect world.
And then if you and Charlie have a place for date night, would you choose the Strip, downtown Las Vegas, or the Arts District?
Arts District,
Okay.
hands down.
Where would you go?
Once again, Esther's. Wow.
Esther's.
I love
Gary Geest.
Esther's. But if we're like, I love You or Me Sushi. They're right next door. They're like right across. I also love Good Pie. And I think they have fantastic environment to like bar hop. So if we're like going on a date night and we're like down to have a drink, like I love Gragies for wine. We actually just went there 2 nights ago. We go and like my favorite thing is to sit at the bar. I know a few of the wine tenders is what I call them. And I'll be like, hi, what is your favorite? And they'll be like, okay. And they recommend based off like what they now know about me. Or I'll describe what I'm in the mood for, and they're the best. Like, especially if you don't know wine, Gragies would be the best place to go. They just like, they know everything. They constantly are changing their front wine list. It's like every week, I believe. So they never have the same thing. and it's a great way to experience wine and learn about wine. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
we
going
love that
Arts
place.
District, and
We
then
love
all
that
the
place too,
breweries.
yeah.
Like breweries are great, food's great, breweries are great, wine bar. They've like 2 mezcal bars that just opened. Definitely Arts District.
Okay. Being in New England as long as you have been, Maine lobster roll or Connecticut lobster roll?
Maine.
Okay. And for those that don't know, Maine is a cold lobster roll with mayo. Connecticut is hot lobster, warm lobster with butter.
The warm was like good, but the Portland one like blew it out of the water. We went to, I don't remember the name, but we went to a really cool little spot, and the way they like presented it and the way it tastes, it just like nothing could top it the rest of the trip. And we ate a lot. We ate a lot of lobster rolls. It was Charlie's goal. It's like, I'm gonna eat all the lobster rolls. And then we got to like our 5th one. He's like, I'm done. I'm like, you think?
My hero.
You sure you don't want one more?
And then the crazy story that you told me recently, someone made a fake Discord of you and Charlie.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend is Charlie. What the fuck was up with that?
So we found out about it because someone messaged me and was like, hi, we've been talking to you on Discord for like 6 months. And I was like, no, you haven't. Like, yeah. And they like sent me a screenshot, and it was like Charlie and I talking to them. Well, actually, it said Charlie's wife, which we're not even married, so that was just offensive because like dying for a ring over here, and they're like faking being a wife. I'm like, that's just mean. How cruel.
Dying for a ring.
Dying for
Charlie,
babe,
what the fuck?
I love you. I'm sorry to put you on
Okay.
blast. Don't put that as a reel, guys. He might kill me. But like, that's the only thing that's ever there. Is just like dying for a ring. No, I love him. It's at his own pace. No one pressure him. But I even turned my face so no one can see me blushing. But so they basically made this fake profile, and we're talking to, I don't know, I guess it was like 100 people or something in this Discord group, which I don't know anything about.
What are you
Discord.
talking about?
Just like, I don't know anything. They were making like random photos of us. Like one of my faces had a chipmunk on it. It was like on Charlie's back, and they
You were
put a chipmunk.
imposing stuff.
No, like they were like taking photos from my personal account and like making it, which is, awesome. Like by all means, make artwork. I love it. I just like don't pretend to be someone. Like I'm down to even talk to anyone. Like if it's like a thing that people want to talk to us, or like I'd rather FaceTime you daily than you make a fake account over me.
But these
Like,
people are
maybe
talking
not
about
daily,
for 6 months. What are they talking about for 6 months?
I never got into that.
That's
I
wild.
only know is that my brother helped me get into the Discord group so that I could see what was going on, and I just was like, I'm done with this. So we just started shutting it down. Cause it got like, I don't want to say some of the things I read, but it was just to the point of like, that's not how I want to be represented. And so I was over it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what they were saying was just not cool.
That's
That's
crazy.
how I'll say that. But anyways, so if you're gonna make a fake Discord about us, like please talk about sunshine, rainbows, and like you can still make artwork and maybe invite me to it. Like I'll be
Poetry.
in it. My name can be John for all I care. Like just let me monitor it. Like let's like all be on the same page here. Like I don't know.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it was rough. So apparently there's another one out there right now. I know.
Same
I know.
person?
We don't know. I don't.
Probably.
So we're trying to navigate that. But if you're listening and you're like talking to me on Discord or anywhere else, just to let you know, I only reply to people on DMs of Instagram.
So you don't have a Discord?
No.
You're not on Discord?
No,
at all.
I'm not on Discord. I'm not on Twitch. I'm on TikTok and Instagram, and then I dabble in YouTube and Pinterest. And I have a blog that I attempted, but as of right now, it's not going anywhere. But like,
It's a lot of work.
blogging is so hard. I did one. It's a great one. If you ever need any information on Scottsdale, Sedona, that blog's fantastic. I'll send it to you. It's great. It did really well on Pinterest. Like no joke, it did phenomenal on Pinterest. Got tons of views on the website. I'm like, that was cool. I'm not doing that again as of right now. Like it took an all day to write this thing.
Yeah.
Those who blog are like, they're dedicated. Like amazing. I wish I could be that dedicated. I as of right now, I cannot. That is one of my goals too, though, for next year is to like write a blog. Everyone keeps asking for one for the New England trip. And I started it and I like got through 2 sections and it took me like an hour and I was like, oh, I'm not even, it was on day 1. It wasn't even on 2 sections of day 1.
It might actually be better just to have the voice to text from the posts.
Oh, you just want
And
me
then,
I just talk about it.
yeah, maybe add some filler.
I've
in.
never thought
I
about
think that'd
that.
be good.
Goes home and tries that. And then what else am I trying? Oh, writing it on my Word to do voiceovers. There's so many things I'm learning today. This is what I'm going to do.
I'm learning. What are you
I love
talking
it.
about? And then finally, what's the last song you listened to on your phone? If you want to check your phone.
Yeah, I will check my phone. I won't even know. Charlie says I have the worst taste in music. So
Is
if
it
you
BTS?
no,
Okay.
they're not the worst.
I was just asking.
I was like-
I didn't say they're the worst.
Music. Let's see. I also am like a deep person, so I don't know.
What does that mean?
Like
Meditation?
no, like I listen to like sad. I feel like Charlie says I listen to sad songs. So I feel like
Coming from an Asian all Asians sing our sad songs at karaoke.
okay. I was listening to "Homecoming Queen" by Kelsey Ballerini,
Okay.
which is also kind of a sad song in a way. Jeez, I don't know.
Anyways, that about wraps it up.
know.
Well, the worst one was when Lindsay cried. Sorry. Yeah, at the end of hers.
Oh, I haven't
was-
made it
that was a
all
weird-
the way through. I've made it, I think, 30 minutes. I'm trying to slowly go through all of them and
Yeah.
like concentrate.
That was definitely the most awkward ending. Sorry, Lindsay. I mean, it was still a great show, but yeah.
I was scared to cry today too. So I
Oh,
mean,
really? Oh,
you never know where these things can go.
that's
Like,
true. That's true. So yeah, I mean, she's like emotional about this great story with Leah Elena's Bananas.
Oh,
And I'm
they're
like,
great.
well, thanks. Well, that about wraps up the show. Like, I felt like such an asshole.
No crying over here.
Yeah, maybe we should leave tissue.
I'll be smart, just in case.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
This was super fun. Till next week. See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the Las Vegasville podcast. For more information about me and where I've been dining recently, check out my IG and TikTok at Las Vegasville. Feel free to text or leave me a voicemail about anything you want, 702-551-4445. Stay tuned as a new episode of the show debuts every Monday morning.